In this video, join me as I explore the largest city in the state of Alaska. Nestled between the Chugach Mountains and the Cook Inlet on Alaska's southern coast, this city of roughly 300,000 people is a true subarctic metropolis and is the largest city in North America above the 54th parallel. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast, city explorer, or interested in learning more about Alaskan native culture, this bustling city is the ideal starting point for any Alaskan adventure. Welcome to Anchorage, Alaska.
Ladies and gentlemen, please note the 1 hour time change.
All right, folks, welcome to Anchorage, Alaska. I've been here many times before, but I've never vlogged here. So this is actually my first visit back to Anchorage since I started this YouTube channel. Anyway, onward to explore Anchorage and surrounding area. So good morning from downtown Anchorage, Alaska. You can see that the sun is very low in the sky, given the high latitude here, close to the Arctic, not in the Arctic, but close to it at least. So it is just about 1:45 and you can see that there's barely any sunlight yet. This would be like 9:30 a.m. in Calgary, so it's quite dark here. My first stop here in Anchorage is Resolution Park. I remember this park during my first visit here. I guess it was 15 years ago now that I came here. But this park is beautiful. It overlooks the Knik Arm right here, which is a part of the Cook Inlet that leads out to the Pacific Ocean. And there's a statue of Captain James Cook right here. So the famous explorer that discovered all of this region, looking over his discovery. As you can see, it is pretty shallow near the edge of the water. And those are tidal flats. So as the tide comes in and out, the water line will, move closer to the shore here. And this info panel shows what's on the horizon here from the lookout at Resolution Park. So the mountain over there is actually Mount Susitna, but no views of Denali today. It's a bit overcast. So this is 4th Avenue, and here you'll find plenty of Alaskan gift shops, Alaska souvenir shops, things like that, plus a few eclectic shops kind of mixed into the bunch. But this is definitely the tourist heart of Anchorage. And one benefit of coming to Alaska in October is that all of the gift stores have everything on clearance, so 50% off pretty much everywhere, 99 cents, half price shirts. So consider that in the off season, you're getting a lot better deal if you're looking for gifts. And right over here is the Log Cabin Visitor Information Center. It's kind of an icon here in downtown. This is the old City Hall building right here. And they do have a few pieces of interesting urban art outside. This multicolored grizzly bear. This is the Alaska Center for the Performing Arts, the Atwood Concert Hall. And right next to it is the Town Square Park. And it is full of homeless people. Like, we're talking dozens. So kind of a seedy vibe down here in downtown Anchorage because of that. But gonna go check out the mural, which is 1 block away ahead of me here. So I guess it's called the Wyland Whales mural, and plenty of belugas, killer whale there, huge building covered with whales. And this has been here since '94 by the looks of it. But yeah, pretty kind of dying city vibe, I gotta say. It's definitely kind of derelict downtown now, and oh my goodness, so many social problems. It's sad. All right, I've located the downtown location of Kaladi Brothers Coffee. Again, this is a major chain here, kind of homegrown in Anchorage. So I'm gonna go in and try it out. I've never been here before, so I'm excited to give it a try. So pretty good coffee here at the Kaladi Brothers Coffee Company, and their motto is Catalyst for Community. So really homegrown place, and the coffee is actually pretty excellent. So this is another very popular cafe here in downtown Anchorage, and it's called the Kobuk. I guess they do some great donuts as well, so I might pop in there. I'm not sure. I have a coffee in my hand, so I don't know how many I could have feasibly. So they have this Samovar tea here that's, I guess, one of their homespun products. Got myself a little sample, at least to try it out. All right, Samovar tea. Wow, that's really good. You can see why they make such a fuss about it and give samples, because that's delicious. Wow. It smells so good in here. My goodness. They have a huge gift shop here too. All right, so this is their cafe. Looks like they have some fresh baked donuts here.
Hi there, welcome.
Hi. Looks really good. Old-fashioned glazed donuts. And some bagels and some squares. Really good. So pretty eclectic artistic space, as you can see here. And I ordered myself the fireweed donut, which is flavored with local Alaskan fireweed. Looks really good. And latte, which looks amazing. So pretty inexpensive too. This was like $6 or something for what you see here. So pretty cheap by Alaska standards especially. So excellent place. Highly recommend the Kobuk. This is an Anchorage institution. Definitely check them out on your next visit to Anchorage. Lots to offer in there. Huge gift shop and some of the best coffee and donuts you're going to have here in Anchorage. All right, a short drive later, I've made it here to the 49th State Brewing Company, right here in the heart of downtown Anchorage. This is considered to be the best brewery in Alaska, so gonna head in and try their beer. Let's give this place a shot. So pretty rustic space here. I think I'm gonna sit at the bar and try the beer, but they have some nice views over there too, but I'll do the bar today. All right, I have ordered myself a flight of beer. So I chose some of my favorites and started off with the Solstice IPA, which is their signature award-winning IPA. Then their new Seismic Bison IPA is right here. And their Smoke, which is a German Rauch beer, so smoked beer. And the Apple Fritter Ale. So $12, not too bad for the ability to try multiple beers at once here. And again, this is regarded as Alaska's best brewery, so definitely looking forward to trying out each one of these today. All right, first one up here is the Solstice IPA. So this is their signature IPA here at the 49th State Brewing Company. Citrus forward hop profile with aromatics of juicy grapefruit and a ripe melon balanced with a perfect bitterness. So looks really good. Give it a try. Oh, wow. That's a decent IPA. Really clean. Amazing. And everything that you have here is served alongside their signature caramel popcorn, which is dusted with jalapenos and kind of covered with their smoked beer. So really amazing. All right, Apple Fritter Ale. Taking a sip of this donut delight is just like biting into an apple fritter fresh from your local donut shop. Cinnamon icing, caramel, and vanilla notes. So that's odd, but let's give it a try. Wow. It tastes like apple pie. That's crazy. It's such a light ale that it's just perfectly flavored with, it's like every single note of an apple pie in there. That's so good. Wow. This place is really incredible. So if you come to Anchorage, check it out. They have a branch in the airport as well, but make your way downtown here to the brewery location here on, I think it's 3rd Avenue, downtown Anchorage. Really good beer.
After sampling some of the brewery's best beers, I was invited into the production facilities to meet the head brewer, Raph, who shared his passion for beer making and gave me insight into the history of the brewery.
What are you working on for the future? Like, are you any unique ideas in mind for like the winter?
Oh yeah, for sure. We usually work in a lot of barrel-aged beer. Since we don't need to put a bunch of beer out there to tab, save your time, make beer that's gonna be out 1 year, 2 years down the road. Do that. Everything that we don't want to get bottled, we want to get it done during the off season because I can see it's very labor intensive.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And when that summer hits, have to go, push beer out.
Wow. Well, you got good products here, so I'm really impressed. Yeah, definitely an amazing experience. So
thank you.
Thanks for having me. I do appreciate it.
No problem.
Oh, your Czech Pilsner. It doesn't get much fresher than that, eh? It'll need to settle for a few at least. All right, this is their Czech Pilsner. Oh, wow. Freshest beer I think I've ever had. Yeah, that's really good. Wow. Czech Pilsner. Amazing. Really great place. A decent vibe, and it's really rustic and cozy. I'm gonna head upstairs to check out their pumpkin patch that they told me about. So this is their little pumpkin patch, and they sell these pumpkins, I guess, and they do contests. There's things for the kids. So it's not just an adults only establishment in terms of Halloween fun. They definitely are a well-established and respected brewery here in Anchorage. So again, 49th State Brewery, highly recommended. Pretty amazing beer. Probably some of the best beer I've ever had in the United States. Honestly, I don't say that lightly. Very, very amazing experience here. Highly recommended. All right, my next stop is going to be the Alaska Native Heritage Center, which is just about 10 minutes outside of downtown. Very cheap admission this time of year. It's only $5 instead of the usual 30, I believe. So it pays to visit in winter sometimes, for sure. All right, I got about an hour before they close, but I've made it here to the Alaskan Native Heritage Center, which is pretty incredible. They have different, basically little villages, native villages from each of the tribes of Alaska here. And here is a statue called Raven the Creator. Very interesting. So this is another totem pole like the ones we saw in Ketchikan, a representative of the Tlingit and Haida culture. Very typical of the coastal areas of Alaska and British Columbia. Anyway, I'm going to head outside and check out these recreated villages. This should be pretty interesting. There's a lot of really unique native tribes here in Alaska, and they really mean it when they say beware of moose. I've seen plenty of moose here in Anchorage, even at the airport, so you do have to be mindful of them. So I generally love open air museums, and especially places like this that are recreated villages, just so unique. So it's quite an expansive area. I mean, not huge, but huge enough to have 5 villages actually in total here. But you can see on the map, they're basically all laid out around the lake. So there is a Iyak, Tlingit, Haida, Tsimshian village, which is very similar cultures. Then there's an Ununguks or Unungan, just like the Dutch Harbor tribe, the same one. And then Inupiaq, Yupik, what they used to call Eskimo, Inuit tribes. And then Yupik, Kupik, and Athabaskan tribes. So the first tribe here is that of southeastern Alaska, basically. So this is the homelands of the Iyak, Tlingit, Haida, and Tsimshian tribes. And apologies if I'm getting those wrong at all. So this is a recreated clan house. Oh man, that's a tight squeeze. That's it. So traditional clan house. You can see the totems and just incredible imagery in their culture, as you can see. Really amazing totems. So whenever you see a totem pole, you're dealing with a southeastern Alaskan tribe, Iyak, Tlingit, Haida, or Tsimshian. So a lot of people mistakenly believe that these are religious symbols, but in fact, they basically tell the story of a family's lineage, the history of a clan, basically. So they're pure story. It's really interesting. Pretty fascinating culture. If you're interested in the totems and this culture in general, definitely check out my Alert Bay, British Columbia video from 2021, where I visit Canada's home to totem poles. It's really cool there. And it's, again, important to remember that, you know, these native tribes know no national boundaries. So it's not an American native tribe or a Canadian native tribe. It's their traditional homeland straddles the international border. So they call multiple nations their home. Pretty impressive culture here. So the next tribe here are the Ununguks or Aleut people, the Alouettes basically, the Unungan people of the Aleutian Islands. And you can see the traditional underground dwellings of the Unungans right here. So very cool, and so cool to see this recreated. I got to see a little bit of this in the Museum of the Aleutians in Unalaska, Dutch Harbor. And honestly, that was fascinating. So to see this recreated is so cool. This is a stellar museum. You should definitely check out this Alaskan Native Heritage Center if you are in the area. I'm not sure if this door is going to be open. I hope so, but pretty interesting place. Wow. Oh yeah, there it is. There's the little step ladder that we saw back in Unalaska. And this would have been it. So beneath ground in these sod buildings, basically covered with wooden walls. So an incredible amount of detail has went into sharing and illustrating these amazing villages, the seafaring peoples of the North Pacific Rim, the Ununguks and Aleut peoples. Gonna head inside this recreated home. I'm not sure how this one differs from the last, but let's take a peek. It smells so good here too. Wow. Oh, it's so warm in here. Wow. Some skins on the wall. A little fire in the center. So I don't know how this building differs, but I don't think this is for living. I think this is kind of a communal area by the looks of it. Or maybe a kitchen of some sort. I'm not too sure. Looks like they're doing craft work here. So very interesting. I will say though, they might want to, invest in some interpretive displays just to explain the relevance of each room, but really amazing experience nonetheless. And over here you can see this massive gray whale skeleton. Whaling is super important to the Aleutian tribes, and you can see this pretty massive behemoth of a whale right here. So huge whaling culture. I saw some of these in Barrow, Alaska. They actually make archways out of these. Very, very cool. And this is the culture that I'm most familiar with, I would say, given that I've lived in the northern reaches of Canada and the Nunavut territory for 3 years of my life. And this is the Inupiaq and St. Lawrence Island Yupik people, which are closely related to the Inuit people of Canada. So you can see it pretty much stretches all the way up to the northern reaches of Alaska, starting in Unalakleet, all the way up to Barrow and other places, including Nome, Kotzebue. Wow, they've done such a good job to really bring this to life. So cool. And this is it, the traditional Yupik Inupiaq home. Massive, massive whalebone by the looks of it. Seal skin stretching, that's very common in Canada as well. And pretty crazy. This is a Kamatik, traditional Inuit, or in this case, Inupiaq sled. Very cool. So this is super cool. You can actually crouch down and get inside this little passageway. And I'm not sure where this goes. But yeah, I don't want to go any further. A bit of a climb, but I gotta go. I mean, this place is gonna close soon, but very cool. Well, that was pretty interesting. And I guess it did have an exit there that I could have climbed through to get to that point there, but it's actually locked. So I would have had to turn around anyway. But 2 more native tribes to go as I make my way around the lake. Very fascinating open air museum. I really recommend a visit here. And again, if you come in the off season, you're saving a ton of money. So $5 admission, this is a steal. And this one here is the Yupik and Kupik people, which live kind of south of Nome. So kind of around the Bethel, Dillingham area, Yukon River Delta, basically. I'm gonna go check out their structure, which is right behind here. Gonna head inside and check it out. This tribe definitely makes use of the kayak basket making. So they do have access to wood, which again is reflected in the tools and the art and the crafts of the culture. So very cool. And like the other Inupiaq people, they also stretch their seal skins in the same manner. So interesting. It's really cool to see the variety of indigenous cultures here in Alaska. It's not one size fits all. There's so many different tribes, each with their unique culture, traditions, language, and everything else that goes along with it. So pretty fascinating. So you can see traditional drying equipment. So they would have dried their fish here and so forth. Really interesting culture, as you can see. The Yupik and the Kupik people of southwestern Alaska. And the last tribe here are the Athabaskan people, which pretty much take up all of the eastern part of Alaska and the central part. So huge amount of territory there, kind of bordering the Yukon with the Gwich'in culture out there. So you can see the Athabascans are using a lot of logs, wood in their culture. And it looks like this is one of the traditional kind of cabin homes. So really interesting. So definitely a great visit to the Alaskan Native Heritage Center. Highly recommend coming by here if you're in the Anchorage area. Really cool to see all the different villages and, the slight differences and similarities between the cultures that all coexist here in Alaska. So pretty cool, definitely recommend it, and really cheap, $5 admission. So pretty amazing views of the Knik Arm right here. I love this drive, it's so scenic. Well, welcome to my final stop here. I didn't go very far at all from Anchorage, but that's not the point. I just wanted to get outside of the city and soak up some of these views. But beautiful Knik Arm, all the beautiful mountains south of Anchorage, and a stunning sunset with clear skies tonight. So absolutely beautiful here. Just about 10 miles south of Anchorage. Gorgeous night tonight. It is chilly though. It's about 35 degrees Fahrenheit or about 2 degrees Celsius. So very nippy. So this is called Beluga Point because in the summer months you actually can see frolicking belugas right offshore here in the Knik Arm. So they swim up all the way from the Homer area around the Kenai Peninsula to reach the Cook Inlet. So pretty impressive. And again, just an amazing, amazing sunset here outside of Anchorage. Definitely one of the most scenic drives in the state. And if you ever have the chance to make your way all the way down to Seward or to Homer, well worth that road trip. I did it back in 2016 and I did Seward a couple times actually back in 2010. Beautiful, beautiful place. And the perfect end to my time here in Anchorage.
I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to click the bell icon to be notified when new episodes are posted. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next video.